Okay, we're back here for another interview with another amazing artist. Can you please say your name, where you're from, and what kind of art you do?
My name is, good catch. My name is Scott Schuldt. I'm from Milford. I'm a multimedia artist. I'm showing beadwork, my bead embroidery work here. But I've worked in I do sculptural work, I do drawings, work with found objects, I do artist maps. I taught myself how to survey. Yep, I do.
So you do a little bit of everything, sounds like.
Jack of all trades. Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit of how long you've been part of the City Lights Spiritual Art Show world and how you got involved?
God, it's
Been a while.
yeah, it's probably been 8 years or so. Yeah, I had a solo show here. I think that was 2019
Okay, yeah.
and stuff, and that would have kind of been the big kickoff for being involved. And then Suzanne has made sure that I have a space for the art trail every year and stuff. So yeah, I love it too. I really like getting included and stuff. And
Feels good. It feels good to be included.
yeah, and she knows how I tick and stuff, so she can give me a space that works and everything. So yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the Bridgeport Art Trail. It's such an important part in Bridgeport here. Every November, a long weekend, Thursday through Sunday, there's so much art to see. There's live music, there's theater, there's storytelling, there's visual art, there's a little bit of everything. There's film. How can I forget the film? I'm the film guy. But what's your favorite? What's Scott's favorite part about that weekend?
Well, I'm usually stuck in my studio space, but I'm doing what I like to do when I'm showing my art is getting to talk to people that come by and stuff. I remember the first time I came to the art trail. I'd been active in New Haven. I actually worked for the citywide open studio program. I ran the Armory for 3 years, but first time I came over, we went to the Amfab building with a friend, and we walked through Amfab, and we got back out on the street, and we looked at each other, and I says, that was 20 studios, and 19 of them were really good.
Oh, wow.
I said, that's really unusual.
Right.
You know, yeah. So
That's a really good percentage.
was kind of a good introduction, yeah. So
let's talk a little bit about Suzanne. You said she brought you into the fold. Is there anything you want to say about Suzanne or to Suzanne about all the hard work that she does and the kind of force of nature she is?
you're putting me on the spot. Now I'm going to turn red. Yeah. No, I think Suzanne just does it's a Class A operation where she's just being that focal point, particularly with the art trail of all the artist buildings kind of handling their own thing, but Suzanne kind of being this. She's not the centerpiece, but she's got her finger on the pulse for all of them, and it ends up working really well because the artists are involved in doing their own buildings, and Suzanne gets the word out and gets people to come in and gets kind of people to all show up on the same weekend. I love the idea that they take artists and put them in, a middle school art class, and so it's not a selection of kids that get to work with an artist. Everybody gets to work with it. And I taught beadwork when I did it, which was, it's kind of like I knew it was going to happen. It was like, a third of the kids are going to hate this, and a third of the kids are going to be okay with it, and a couple of the girls are going to go to town on it because their moms have taught them how to sew. And then what always happens when you teach those classes is there was one boy in the class that showed up the next week with his own beads.
Oh, I love that.
And because you teach it, sometimes you teach it to guys, and all of a sudden you watch them and they just zone out. All the peer pressure's gone away. All they do is focus on sewing. It's pretty cool to see, and it's kind of neat to reach somebody like that.
Yeah, and I think that's so important, right? It's like, who knows if these kids are going to grow up and do beadwork, right? You're showing them something new, something different, right? A different kind of point of view, a different world they may not have experienced on their own.
Yeah, and I'm not really the good artist at doing that stuff. She's got other guys that are better, other people that are better than her.
Too humble.
No, she's got other people that are better at it than I am,
Yeah.
So.
So we talked a little bit about this, but I feel like the mission, in a way, of City Lights and the Bridgeport Art Trail is like serving the community through art. Why is that important to you?
Art doesn't do any good if it just gets bought by Mr. Moneybags and stuck on his wall.
Right.
You know, if people aren't coming in and seeing something different or looking at something and, you know, if it germinates in new ideas or thoughts or emotions in somebody, you know, that's what it's about. Is it's easy to, and it's easy to reach. That's the neat thing about the kids. It's kind of easy to reach them because they're not intimidated. They ask, you know, I particularly like kids that are between first and sixth grade.
Okay, yeah.
You know, because I've gotten to talk with them before because they don't know how to filter their questions. And
That's so true.
and you know, you get the best questions out of kids like that. You know, you just get it's stuff like, oh, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good question. You know? Yeah.
So last question for you. I know you want to get back to the party, to mingling and then chatting and whatnot. Oh, the cake. Oh, it looks so good. What do you want to see for City Lights Bridgeport Art Trail for the next 21 years? We're celebrating 21 right now, and we want to see 21 more. What do you want to see from that?
I just want to see it keep going.
Right.
I mean, I don't, you know, big changes. You don't want big changes. You want lots of little small changes that fix things. You want people that can go, oh, that didn't work real good. Let's change it, because that's how things improve. And you know, the longer you're here, the more people you get involved, and the more people you get involved, the better it is, and stuff. And just making it, it's already really accessible to people. It's just a lot of people don't know about it. They can come here and take a writing class. You got a person that teaches writing, you know, and yeah, there's all kinds of things that you can do. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of the community. Thank you for spending some time with me. I'm glad we got to talk a little bit today, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Yeah, see you at the art trail if not.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Cool.